Hi everyone. Welcome to the Youth Day Business Game Final. It's finally happened. I'm so excited. Rob, can you hear me? Rob, you need to unmute yourself. Okay, so there will be two moderators. Me, Pavel Metilev from High Economic School, and Rob, who cannot hear us, and he will appear soon, from Gazprom International. You see this bold guy, funny guy, my co-moderator. Yeah. Okay. So we have a quite complicated agenda today, and you see that the system that we use is not easy. It's not easy for anyone actually. It's so difficult, and when I first saw it, I was terrified. Now I'm more relaxed, but it will be a good experience for everyone. So we have first we'll do the introduction, then we introduce the jury, the participants, then we define the order of presentations, then we'll hear several words about the case, we'll say how you do the presentation and so on, then we hear the impulse speech from the chairman of the jury, and finally we'll hear the presentations from the guys, from the main guys of today, the students. And then we'll have a pause, the jury break. They will define the winners, the marks, and we have something special after that. Rob, can you hear me?
I can hear you well, Pavel.
Good.
Thank you so much.
I was so worried that I'm alone, you know.
No, you're not alone. We're always together. We do this now for the third year together. And for everybody who's online, this is a great team to work in this. So it's young and old, hair and bold,
Yeah.
Russian and so, you know, this combination is unbeatable anyway.
Unbeatable for sure.
Yes.
So we have today we have 7 jury members, and it's something special because we work with these guys for a long time. And again, thank you for your support. It's a wonderful job. Thank you for your time, for the contribution. And Rob, do you want to present some of them?
Yes, but Pavel, did you present yourself as well? Is that correct?
Yeah, I said my name is Pavel. They know me well, and yeah.
Yes, you did. You did. Okay, that's good, because you need to have some introduction yourself as well.
Good. So let's move to the jury.
The jury. Let's go to the jury. So we're very pleased with all these jury members, of course. And the first I would like to introduce you is Margaretha Hofman. So please greet Margaretha. She's from Wintershall, and she's going to do a great job as the chairperson of the jury. So she's going to be selective for you today, and Margaretha is going to do a fantastic job. Welcome, Margaretha. And then we have Lars Drage. Lars Drage is coming from OMV Russia. There's Lars. Hey, Lars, good to see you again. And it's interesting for everybody to know that we meet these people, we know these people, and now we see them online after a year, and that's good. Good to see you, Lars. And then, of course, we have Ekaterina Kravechkaya. Katja, are you on? Hey, there is Katja. And Katja is from GasUnie, so it's a Dutch company. And you look fantastic again, Katja. Good to see you.
Nice to be here again.
And to hear you as well. And Pavel, do you take over for the rest of the introductions?
Yes, of course. And I want to know that, you know, it's we have the platform for meeting people. And actually, it's, you know, these people sometimes, it's for the last year, they haven't seen each other. And it's for the first time that they see each other and they will communicate with each other. And the same for tomorrow, actually, is prepared. So that's quite wonderful. Then we have Philip Palada from Uniper. Philip is the senior account manager from Uniper Global Commodities. Hi, Philip. Welcome. And of course, we have Leon Stile from EDI, Energy Delta Institute, managing director. And you know Leon, he prepared 2 wonderful webinars for you. Leon, nice to see you again.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Pavel, I have a question. Can I get a shirt like you or not?
Yes, of course. I actually forgot to do that. Everyone participating in the meeting will receive this wonderful shirt. We control the quality ourselves, so It's quite popular, I would say, because everyone is asking for that. So every
of course.
participant
It
will
looks good.
receive it.
Thank
Every
you.
jury member will receive it. As we will send it to you. Then the next jury member is Maxim Nedzvedsky from Gazprom Gas, Director General, and Natalia Krukova, also representing Gazprom Gas and Gazprom. Hi, Natalia. And the last but not least is Yana Klementovicius, the Vice Rector of UNECON and Director of High Economic School of UNECON. And actually, technically, she's my boss, so I'm also on the line here a little bit. So, these wonderful people will assess your presentations today. So, thank you in advance, and I hope everything will be smooth. So, next, Rob, I think we need to show everyone. I think we need to show every team that is participating and everyone. Yeah, you see 5 teams and
Yes,
the jury.
we see them all. And by the way, and everybody needs to smile like we did last week with the opening.
Yes.
You saw the photo.
For the photo.
Smile and wave.
At least in digital format. So welcome everyone. I'm so happy to see you, even in digital format. But I feel closer to you right now, really.
Powerful. Is this going to be recorded? Because that's fantastic to see, you know, all the people online and everybody is waving.
And of course, you can send this viewer link to your colleagues so they can check what are you doing. Okay. Then right now we have this special procedure, as you remember. I need the technical guys to help me on that.
We're going to do a draw again, huh?
Yes.
We're going to draw the sequence of the presentations.
So again, you already heard it that we work very hard on this script. It takes only 5 sentences, but it's really hard for us. So it's my supercomputer who will decide who is going first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So the order of presentations will be defined right now. And Margarita, I will ask you to help me. I'll do it manually because computers do not work without people, or I am too stupid to do that automatically. So I will do that, and you need to stop me. When you say stop, I will stop.
Stop.
Okay. First team is red. Second team is green. Third team is blue. Fourth team is yellow. And team orange is 5, is number 5. So what I wanted to say is, red team, please prepare yourself. You have less than 5 minutes to do that. So you need to be physically and mentally prepared, at least. Okay, so done. Good. Now I will ask my colleague, Natalia Sarahanova, who you know well already. She was communicating with you constantly during the night and answer all your questions, all your wonderful questions, I would say. Natalia will say several words about the case, how it was going, how was the preparation going, and how you did the job, actually. Natalia?
So I'm online, Pavel, Rob,
Yes.
hello, happy to see you. Happy to welcome all students and jury members today. So what did we do during 7 days? Actually, during 7 days, we make December hot for 50 students, join in 5 teams. So during 7 days and 168 hours, they try to crack this, as they say, crack this subsoil energy case. And how it was, let's have a look. So during days they discussed with experts and in teams, so and message a lot to each other and to us by asking and defining what is the future of energy companies, what could it be. There were 3 assignments, 3 tasks which they made to do. All students worked virtually, and virtuality is now is our reality now. So, and a special thanks to experts who help students, Julia, Bert, Konstantin, Irina, Jan, and Grigory, who help them to overcome all these obstacles and difficulties. And my message also to students, it is the last challenge which is starting now, and you managed to overcome all the assignments of Virtual Academy. And we think that you are very well prepared to the last challenge meeting with the jury members, real experts. And you are really genius to working in a distance with time difference and overcoming all the challenges you meet. So, good luck.
Okay. Natalia, thank you. It was very brief, actually. Thank you very much. Again, I want to highlight the work of our experts. You know, Natalia already mentioned that experts helped us in solving the case, and they were consulting you, and they did a great job, actually. I was connecting sometimes, you know, to see what they're doing, and it was wonderful, you know, how they worked with you. And I felt that you work in one company, you know, like peers. So I want to highlight that Red Team was connected to Bert Kivit, commercial director from Gazuni. Orange Team was working with Julia Boerman, senior manager investor relations from Wintershall. Yellow Team was assigned to Jan Paul, chief scientist and technology manager from OMV. Green Team was working with Konstantin Romanov and Irina Mironova from Gazprom. And Team Blue worked with Grigory Shevchenko from Uniper Global Commodities. So thank you guys. If you are watching us, it's great, your contribution. And you will also receive this wonderful gift. So I did the ad. I did my job today. So Margarita, I want to ask you to say an impulse speech to the teams.
Thank you, Pavel. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you be at that moment in time. My name is Margarita Hoffmann, and today I represent the jury, or to be more precise, I represent the board of directors of Subsoil Energy. In a few minutes, the board meeting of Subsoil Energy will start. One of our most prominent topics of the agenda is rebranding and portfolio restructuring of the company for the sake of a sustainable future of Subsoil Energy. We look forward to hearing your team's proposals and explanations. I am sure we will have questions which we will ask after your presentations, after each presentation. We know you have spent a lot of time, efforts, creativity on your task. We are really curious to see and to hear what you will offer. We wish you good luck, and now it's your turn.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Margarita.
much, Margarita.
Thank you very much.
Pavel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good, it's good that you can hear me as well. Pavel, you and I, you know, we're going to escort the teams through their presentations, Q&A, etc. So can you repeat again, how much time do they have and how strict are we on the time?
Yes. Continue, Rob.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I missed your speech, actually.
Okay, I will repeat what we agreed. So our role as moderators is also to take care of the time.
Yes.
And there is no clock in the screen, but everybody needs to be aware of the fact that you only have 10 minutes to present. And Pavel and I will be strict. We will turn you off when you are overrunning the time.
Yes.
Last year, we were face to face. We could actually see the clock ticking so that everybody could watch when it was ending. But at the moment, we need to do it in a, in this way. So Pavel and I will be very clear on that one. When it's time, we will give you the marks.
No. It's actually, Rob, it's again, the future. The future came already. They will have the clock. So they will see the timing and they will see the clock ticking. So you will
I
have
don't see it
10
again.
minutes to present, exactly 10 minutes. Please be time conscious about that. And then you will have
Okay.
5 minutes to Q&A. So that's the timing. It's a little bit rough. We know, we understand that you have like a lot of material to present, but you need to be very brief. Yeah. So we will repeat these procedures 5 times, and then we'll have the jury break, and then we have the award ceremony. So we'll say who won the game, and then we'll say who actually won the project. We will highlight the best students of the whole project. That's the main part of the whole project, actually. So we have 2 minutes
we'll
before.
get a
Yeah?
T-shirt like yours.
What?
Is that correct? Everybody is getting a shirt like you have.
No,
the
you need
winners,
to
or
buy
is
it,
everybody
actually.
just getting the shirt?
Rob, you need to buy it, but for everyone else, we'll send it.
Oh, I need to buy. I can
Yes.
give you some of my books, by the way, in return. Is that okay?
You know that we have the same library, and
Yes, we
everybody
have
knows
some
that.
others.
So, but jokes,
can we start,
jokes
Bob?
aside,
Shall we
yeah,
start?
that's what?
Shall we start?
Yes, we can start, and I need to ask the Team Red, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Team Red, are you ready? Your main presenter, the leader or his deputy, I don't know, should share his screen. And again, be time conscious. Guys, you can start. The word goes to you.
Go.
Good luck.
Cannot hear them yet, Pavel. They're silent.
I'm not on. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
you're okay, Andre. Andre, you're okay. Go ahead.
Okay, I would like to start. Dear board members, I would like to present our team presentation that has 3 main parts. First is a rebranding proposal. Second is a global trend analysis, and third, transaction proposal analysis. I would like to start with our presentation of the new brand, ReneGen, or Renewable Energy Generation and Hydrogen, because a change has come. As you can see, our logo presents a cross-section of a pipe that is colored in red, yellow, and green. Red represents our portfolio of traditional fossil projects, green is for renewable projects, and yellow is a mix of red and green for financial stability of ReneGen. Another important element of our logo is a gas that you can see on the cross-section of the pipe. This gas is also color-coded with a green and blue. These colors represent natural gas and the hydrogen as a change with respect to traditions. Our new mission is in line with our logo and stated, powering the world in the innovative, sustainable, and efficient ways through the diversifying energy supply. Key principles signify our vision for the company. First is awareness of humanity needs for sustainable energy, as also reflected in our logo. Second is understanding of international policy agenda for value creation to our key stakeholders. Third is foresight for the global trends with technology innovations. Fourth is commitment to a brighter future for society, environment, and our most valued employees. This vision reflects global trends that we identified during our analysis. On the left side of the slide, you can see a graph for the world primary energy supply by source from oil, coal, natural gas, and non-fossil fuels. This graph shows increasing role of non-fossil fuels towards 2050. At the same time, you can observe a decline in supply of oil and coal and relative stable share of natural gas. After 21st climate conference in Paris, 90 nations agreed that much greater emission reduction efforts will be required to hold the increase in the global average temperature to below 2 degrees Celsius. This graph supports the idea that decline of coal and oil is inevitable to keep CO2 emissions in check. On the right side, you can see a detailed breakdown of fuel categorized by International Energy Agency and the rise of non-fuel non-fossil fuels is driven by wind and solar, with relative stable share of other renewable sources. On the next slide, you can see that oil demand is going to decline almost across all the regions, especially in North America, which represents the greatest share of demand today. Regions with emerging markets such as Middle East and Africa will maintain stable demand for oil. The graph on the right side shows the demand for natural gas will be stable for the most regions, while demand in India is going to grow. Our company has been working with fossil fuels for decades, and now we need to transition to shape a new energy reality. On this slide, you can see that hydrogen as a new energy source is going to contribute to demand for natural gas because there are fossil hydrogen that can be colored as aquamarine, blue, and gray. Hydrogen that is produced by renewable energy using electrolysis is color-coded as green. European hydrogen strategy is primarily focused on green hydrogen from renewable energy to satisfy demand for energy and achieve carbon neutrality. Another example of strategy is Russian energy strategy 2035 that focuses on fossil-based hydrogen and maintain hydrogen mixtures from the natural gas. This strategy should help to achieve goal of carbon neutrality across all energy consumption sectors of the global economy for the goal stated in the Paris Agreement. I would like to transition to our portfolio selection that was done through the scenario analysis with assumption for the possible investment amount of up to $1.2 billion and upper limit for share of CO2 emissions of 900,000 tons per year. Our team estimated risk level for each project using analysis of mergers and transaction team. We analyzed 12 scenarios. Scenario 1 is the most profitable with a coal power plant in Bangladesh that has a great risk because of government rhetoric for review of coal projects. Scenario 2 is the only renewable scenario, presents lowest NPV and the highest risk. Scenario 3 includes a carbon capture utilization and storage project at San Juan coal power plant in New Mexico. According to our team analysis, this project has a very high degree of risk because of technology component. Scenario 5 has the lowest NPV level with a high risk. Scenarios from 6 till 12 require sale of oil asset in US, which we think is not prudent option given cost structure of oil production in US and expected oil price levels for 5 years. The table shows that the most optimal scenario with the highest NPV within the CO2 emission limit and optimal risk level is scenario 4. With Al Dhafra solar project in UAE, Soda Mountain solar project in United States, Highport green hydrogen project in Belgium, Cabo or Blue Whale natural gas power plant in Vietnam, and Pinascal wind farm project in US. This project reflect our company ethos, present diversification by both type of resources, renewable and hydrogen, and by region, Asia and MENA. We believe that hydrogen project will increase goodwill of the company because of a strong policy support in European Union. Now we can answer your questions to clarify details of our presentation.
Wait a moment, Andre, for the technicians to reconnect everything. Can you hear me, Andre?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you can. So we wait until we open the jury. Is Margarita, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. And dear jury members, what questions do we have? Yes, Leo?
Yes, thank you very much for this good presentation. I just had a question. Is that you talked a lot about hydrogen as one of the key strategic directions, so to say, but I don't really see it back because you only have one small hydrogen project that you feel is profitable. So why not open up the hydrogen? Why only talk about hydrogen? Why also not talk about other renewables or other things that you have to include in your strategy? Or maybe did I get it wrong? But...
We have actually 3 renewables projects, and the green hydrogen is also encompass development of renewables, because the hydrogen is like a connection point, and the storage can be a storage of the electricity for renewable sources.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, if you look at, for example, at slide 7, you say about the global trends, you basically talk about hydrogen. So your global trend is apparently you see hydrogen is coming up, but then you only select one project. You also select other renewable projects. I mean, would it not be better than to include also the strategy part, in the strategy part, a little bit more of a diversification? Maybe let's.
We included only one hydrogen project because current economics produces actually negative NPV, but we believe, and according to our policy analysis, there will be support measures in 2021. According to European hydrogen strategy, there will be policy change in 2021. So at this point, we cannot increase the portfolio of hydrogen projects, but all the hydrogen projects in European Union, they focus on the green hydrogen that requires renewable sources of electricity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, okay. Let's leave it at that. Thank you.
I have a question.
Question?
Yes, I have a question. Margarita, may I? Yes, thank you very much for interesting presentation. Indeed, I have a question about your market strategy. I see that the projects you selected, they are all in different regions. So you are trying to cover both Middle East, Asian, North American, European markets, which seems to be quite a broad global coverage. Do you think you can master in all of these regions well enough? How did you analyze, given your strategy, given your focus in certain regions, do you think you can be successful in that strategy, trying to invest in all of the regions, mostly of the world? Is that a realistic goal, you think? Thank you.
Well, the projects that we selected actually are US, Belgium, and Vietnam and UAE. So we are already operating in Europe. We have a portfolio of existing projects in natural gas, oil, and renewable sources in Europe. So we are very confident that we can support and find synergies with our existing operations for our hydrogen project. We also have the operations in United States of America. So we are very confident that these projects will go ahead. The only new locations for us is United Arabian Emirates and Vietnam that are done with cooperation. In UAE, this is Abu Dhabi government, and the project is done on the basis of public-private partnership. There is a strong support from the government. And the same case for Vietnam, for Blue Whale project. It is a strategic energy security project for the country. And currently Exxon is one of the leaders of that project. So we step as a non-operating entity. We have a share in the project, only 15%. So we have we are equity investor in this. We are not in the operation.
Okay, any more questions? Yeah, Maxim?
I have a question. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for the interesting presentation. The most interesting slide for me is number 9. And you have lots of different scenarios. And frankly speaking, the scenario number 4 is not evident. Will you shortly repeat how you have chosen scenario number 4 from these 12 scenarios once again?
Absolutely. So we have scenario 1 through 5 that can be possible without the sale of oil asset in United States. And we use an NPV share, CO2 emission limit, and risk weighted profile of the project. As you can see, scenario number 4 has lowest risk and it is marked as green. So with the lowest risk, it is within our limit for CO2 emission, and it presents almost identical return on the NPV as a scenario 3, but with much greater risk. So accounting for all these 3 metrics, you can see that scenario number 4 is the optimal scenario for us. And scenario from 1 to 12, they are possible only with sale of oil field in United States, which we think is not the best idea given the current market situation and the cost structure in United States for production of oil.
Okay. Thank you, Andrei.
Just one remark. So CO2 emissions is more important than profitability. Am I correct? According to your statement.
No,
according to your figures.
We used it weighted effect of each parameter. So we used the risk estimate for the project in composition with NPV share and CO2 emission.
Okay.
But
Okay,
one
you.
of the key metrics was the risk of the project.
Okay, Andrei, thank you very much. I need to note for everyone that the timing was prolonged because the team hasn't used the full 10 minutes for presentation. So we used this 1 minute 50 seconds for questions, just to be fair. And again, I want to know, thank you very much, guys. And I know that it's very difficult to be the first. You know, to present the first, it's very difficult. So again, I want to highlight it for the jury and for everyone. So thank you. You did a great job. Rob?
I have nothing to add to it, Pavel. I think it was a very good first presentation. Thank you so much, Andrei. It was good to see you as well. And Pavel, are we now just stepping in immediately to the green team?
The green one, yeah?
Yes, because, and then green team, is it ready? Just checking.
Green team, are you ready? Show something.
And also I need to ask, Pavel, I also need to ask the jury. Jury, are you ready?
Yes, let's give jury. Are you ready? Yeah. So you gave, yeah, good. So the green team, the most renewable team, at least according to the to your color. So you need to be ready to share your screen, and you know who speak first, yeah? Who's gonna speak first? Good. So you can start in 5 seconds.
Can you see my presentation?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yes?
Wait a moment.
Okay, wait a moment, guys. It goes, you know, it goes to the space and then gets back. So you need to give it a time. No. You know that we are spoiled already.
It is, Pavel? Be precise. How far in space?
But it's a difficult question.
Come on, you're a scientist,
Now
Pavel.
can you see it?
Wait, guys, can we see it?
Yes.
Can we launch it? Good.
Yeah, okay.
You can start. So now you will see the timing, so the clock that will be ticking, yeah? 10 minutes. Good.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Hello, good afternoon to the Youth Day organizers and teams and all the people present in this event. We are the Team Green, the Green Day team, and it is a pleasure for us to present our case study for the Subsoil Back to the Future project. First of all, we come with the agenda. Is it changing?
No.
Okay, the agenda, we are going to present who we are, what we expect as a company before rebranding, our vision. In this place, we are going to show the new branding of the company, our methodology to pick the projects. We're going to show our presence in the world, and then our costs and profits we are going to invest in, and finally, the conclusions. Then who we are, first of all, my name is Micaela Flores, my leader deputy is Daniel Kulikov, and this is our green team.
When we were charged with the task to rebrand Subsoil Energy and to present its new strategy, first we identified the main energy sector trends for the coming 20 years. And we have to admit that this year has been exceptional for energy sector because of COVID pandemic and because of the fall of energy demand. But in longer term, we also project a slowdown of energy demand growth. At the same time, natural gas is projected to rise by 30% by 2040. Oil is going to rise, oil demand is going to rise by 2030, by then it will flatten. At the same time, renewable energy share will rise because of its increased competitiveness. And the coal share is going to fall. Michaela, next slide, please. Not in all the regions trends are going to be the same. We identified the three clusters. First cluster, first cluster is cluster A. These are mainly advanced economies where energy demand is expected to decline, but these countries are going to be leaders in innovations. Second cluster, cluster B, these are countries that are going to diversify the economies and energy sectors. And cluster C, these are countries that face the challenge to provide universal access to energy in a sustainable manner. Next slide, please. So our strategy based on this trends consist in diversification of subsoil energy activities with more renewable projects. Then we propose to enhance our gas portfolio since natural gas demand is projected to rise significantly. We also want the company to embrace new technologies like hydrogen. And all these steps will lead to reduce our carbon footprint and to achieve 65% carbon neutrality by 2015. Next slide, please. So our new brand, our new name is Enercore. This name consists of two parts, energy and core, which means that we are going to be at the core of energy, of global energy sector. Our slogan is "Switch the world on." It means that we want to provide sustainable energy to the whole world. Finally, our logo. It is you can see the continuity with the previous logo with this flame. But this flame consists of blue part, which symbolizes natural gas, green part, which symbolizes renewables, a drop in the center, it's oil, and some kind of circle, it's sun or solar energy. Daniel, your microphone is switched off.
Sorry. So with regards to the methodology used for the selection of the projects for the new portfolio, we followed several steps. We had to respect the guidelines of the management of the company, which can be summarized in the following three. First, we had to maximize the monetary return of the investments. Then, second is to have a balanced portfolio. And finally, have it aligned with the long-term company objectives. With regards to the alignment with the company objectives, we have decided to eliminate the projects that are connected with coal-fired power generation and with LNG. Furthermore, we believe that we should have at least one innovative project. From the analysis of the risk that will follow later in the presentation, it was evident that we should pick the Element Ames project, a hydrogen project in Germany, as an innovative project. We consider investing in a hydrogen project because this is in line with the trend that we realize in Europe, that hydrogen is expected to play a role in the European energy mix in the years to come. We are ready to take a minor hit in the pure financial results of the portfolio today so that we will be ready for the future that will come. Evaluating the projects using the real option is the method that we used when it comes to hydrogen. So becoming the technology shapers and pioneers is a very important element for our new portfolio. Furthermore, we decided to sell the oil asset in the US in order to make extra $120 million to finance the new portfolio. So the total budget for the new portfolio will be $1.32 billion US. After that, after we have established the constraints for the management goals, we ran an optimization algorithm to find the best selection of the projects that will maximize the NPV by respecting the constraints of the investment budget and the cap in the total CO2 emissions for the new portfolio. The results were then again scrutinized by another set of indicators to test whether the selection leads to a balanced portfolio. The indicators were technology readiness, where we scored the score would be 1 for innovative projects and 3 for the projects that have proven technology. The geographical spread scored 1 for the regions that the company is already present and 2 points for the projects in the new areas. And then the diversification from current business got the score 1 for the projects that are totally new and outside the current perimeter of the company activities, while 3 points for the projects that are considered home business of the current firm. Finally, we try to identify potential synergies among the new and existing projects. In this slide, we have even more developed a risk factor, taking into consideration the technology readiness and diversification from current business in order to assess the risk of the new portfolio. It is presented in the bubble chart along with the NPV and the profitability index for each project. The larger the size of the bubble, the greater the risk factor. So we also have to assess, we see in detail that the projects on the top right are the most profitable and the ones at the bottom left are the less profitable. But we have also to assess the projects also with the constraints set by a new strategy. The selection of the projects that has been made leads to a balanced portfolio, leaving 1 project from the top right part, 1 from the bottom left, and 3 from the middle area. The selection of the projects has been also assessed by the preliminary version of the EU taxonomy, and an important part of it is aligned with the taxonomy. I will leave now the floor to my colleague Daniel for the next slide.
As a result of the implementation of the described methodology, we are presenting you our portfolio diversification project. As you can see, all projects in portfolio are distributed all over the world and represent various areas of decarbonized energy. At the same time, some of the projects can both interact together to achieve a synergistic effects like projects in Vietnam or have potential for expansion like a wind farm project in the United States. Next slide, please. On this slide, you can see the structure of our costs, both financial and the carbon ones. As you can see, the amount of investment is quite diverse, and the selected projects do not exceed the conditional carbon limit in terms of total emissions. Next slide, please. To assess the success of our portfolio, we analyzed the NPV indicators and deduced their sum. The only weak point in our portfolio regarding the summation of NPV is element ions. I'm sorry, there is some mistakes in this slide. I'm sure you have the version with the numbers. But since methods by evaluating projects in this area is still being developed, and it is important to rely on its reassessment in terms of improving its theoretical performance. Next slide, please. However, in addition to the benefits of implementing these projects, it is also necessary to consider the pool of possible risks. In particular, as with any renewable energy project, it is quite difficult to assess their life cycle and the emission footprint. On the other hand, instability in the gas markets due to an oversupply of LNG may negatively affect projects in Vietnam. And so I am running out of my time, so I just need to say that to mitigate or even overcome mentioned by me and mentioned in this on the slide risks, it is necessary for our new UNECON company establish sustainable partnership agreements with international research organizations, as well as to participate in international climate and energy initiatives together with the local governments.
Thank you.
Thank you
very
so much. Hi, Pavel. Are we online again?
Yes, we are online.
Good.
Thank you, guys. And
good.
you had additional 20 seconds due to the technical problems that we had in the beginning with your presentation. Wonderful job. And then I need to ask Margarita, do we have any questions, remarks?
Yeah. Yes, Philip, please.
So do you hear me? Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much. It was a great presentation, guys. I was prepared to ask you about element 1, but I was impressed by your answer and by your logic behind it. So I have one issue with this solar park in Emirates, because I've read that this is not a focus area. And that is something new. All the other areas match with either the presence of the company right now or a future focus area. So why or how do you believe you can manage this additional investment in a new area?
Shall I answer? Okay. So the idea is that it was the company has the strategy to expand to other regions. So we also know that our company is already present in 30 regions and it already is selling to 150 countries products. So the company is actually already a global company. So all these problems are have already been solved and have already been identified and worked on. So we don't believe that it will be a problem for the company to have a project, especially in the United Arab Emirates, which is an area, and solar technology is proven. We have already experience in solar, so from the technology side that we won't have a problem. We are present in the UAE with other operations or in the area close to it. So we don't believe that it will be a huge risk to go to the UAE and build a solar project. And also from the financial perspective, it will be a very profitable project. So we anticipate to have to face no problems there.
Okay. Thank you.
I have one question. You mentioned, thanks for the presentation, by the way, very good. You mentioned that you had one project, element 1, that was related to hydrogen, and that was a pioneering project. I guess you had 2 projects to choose from. Can you explain why you picked that one particularly, and what do you think that will do for our company?
May I answer that one? Okay, perfect. So we had 2 options available. So one pure hydrogen project where electrolysis would be used, from one pure hydrogen project in Belgium with renewable electricity. But we decided to opt and to go for the element 1 project because it was a more integrated project. It both combined electricity from renewables in the North Sea. It combined gas infrastructure and hydrogen infrastructure networks, and the production not only of hydrogen at the end, but also synthetic fuels and other alternative fuels. So it's a project that combines, that allows us to have a synergetic point of view. It allows a sector coupling, and it aligns with the EU objectives, as mentioned, both in the energy system integration strategy, but also in the hydrogen strategy. So at the end, I think that this project fully aligns with the vision of the European Union. And actually, even though the financial metrics are quite not favorable for this moment, I strongly believe that through the funding instruments available at the EU level, which are many for the moment, and the projected need for hydrogen in the EU, for the moment we have 1 gigawatt of electrolysis, but the expected need for electrolyzers by 2030 would reach 40 gigawatts. So we need to be front runners in that market, step into that market, and that project allows us to do that. So even though the financial viability is not there for the moment, I strongly believe that it will come in the future.
Okay, thank you.
We like to know
still some time for one final question, Margarita, and it needs to be a brief one.
whom you would regard as your most prominent stakeholders.
What do you mean by partners?
Yeah. For instance.
You mean for the hydrogen project?
You have speak about cooperation with research, R&D, perhaps institution. It could be important points for your project. Would you it seems you speak about research and R&D connection with institutes. Could you develop this idea, please?
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for this question. This is a main idea mainly. It could be used and implemented these projects with some kind of, translational projects, like a cluster projects with some international organizations during the way of, the way of producing hydrogen energy. And I think that our company, it's better way to communicate with other neutral, not with other companies, with other international companies, but with other international organizations like IA, like IRENA, like World Bank and others to develop new models of the hydrogen market, which are not presented on the European Union yet, as I know, and so on.
Okay.
We need to
we need to
close the Q&A because we need to be fair to everybody.
Yes.
Who has the time. So the time is over for jury questions and
you
answers.
are the bad cop, Rob.
Yes.
I will be the good one.
Quick. Huh?
I will be the good one.
Yeah. So we're going, Pavel, let's go to the next one immediately. Is that okay?
No, not immediately. We can speak, we hurry up the guys, and then for us, that we can share our ideas, because everyone is interested in our ideas and what we think, actually. So, but I'm kidding. Of course, we need to move further.
Pavel. So we're going to ask the blue team to prepare themselves, to have everything ready for slide sharing, etc., and the presenters. So the question is, Team Blue, are you ready?
Blue team?
Yes, we are ready.
Good. You need to share your screen. Is it shared?
Shared.
Good. So, ready, steady, go, guys.
Ready.
Go.
Dear directors of Subsoil Energy, thank you for having us, Team Blue, today. 8 years ago, our company was born, and for that long, it has brought great pride and respect for our nation and its citizens. Today, we are closing in on the first quarter of the 21st century, and the energy market has quite evolved and is evolving still. In order for us to remain relevant and leaders in this evolving industry, we must upgrade and become a new company. So here from our public relations and company branding, Christoph Bagatsky.
Thank you. Yeah, if we want to answer the question, why do we still exist in 2035 and beyond, we must redefine ourselves. We must redefine ourselves. And therefore, we are glad to announce the new name, Novitergy, which comes from the Latin term novitas, which means for us as a company, newness, novelty, rareness, reformation, but also unfamiliarity, dealing with changes. And the blue N reflects the past, our country, the beloved N country, as well as our logo, which stands for the past, the present, and the future. We have the past, it's the oil string, but now we are up to the bridge technology. Gas is our new main, or will be the key driver for our main portfolio, but we have to orient towards a greener energy system, and that is the reflection for the green stripe in our logo. Novitergy, more energy, less carbon.
More about our new company from our head co-public relations officer, Juan Carlos Vargas.
We have established in Novitergy as our mission to turn natural resources into clean energy for communities and help to advance the society into a cleaner energy future. As our vision, we're looking forward to become a responsible leading energy company by providing the world with affordable, reliable, and clean energy. Our values stand for safety, transparency, diversity, innovation, and responsibility. And the biggest challenges we face are satisfying the energy needs of an ever-growing and energy-hungry population, becoming a carbon-neutral energy company, and adapting to the changing customer needs in the future.
So why exactly are these changes good, necessary for our company? Here from our market analyst, Victor Krakorov.
Yeah, major energy trends are shown on graphs. We want to accentuate that natural gas as a clean energy source and raw material for gas chemistry and polymer production starts to be consumed more. So we propose to expand our gas portfolio by including projects in rapidly growing Asia-Pacific region. For current oil portfolio, we're supposed to introduce energy-saving measures to reduce CO2 emissions. Next point to consider is to follow energy transition paradigm. Novitergy should develop energy sources: solar, wind, hydrogen.
Okay, so as we've noticed, gas plays a very important role in becoming a cleaner energy company and getting to sustainability. So more about this sector from our head analyst of sustainability and renewable energies, Olga Gerasimchuk.
Thank you very much, Thomas. So our strategy is based on current energy trends, and natural gas is central. According to our market research, gas demand will continue to grow globally in all scenarios, and it will mainly concern power generation, industry, and transport. LNG demand will be driven mainly by Asia, and LNG supply market will be growing thanks to the exports from US, Australia, and Russia. Next, please. So we're the company which is committed to provide the cleaner energy. That's why we pay a lot of attention to renewables. According to our forecast, renewable energy will continue to grow at a high pace thanks to cost reductions and sustained policy support. We're convinced that decarbonization of the power sector by using solar and wind power will help us to become a carbon neutral company and to be in line with the United Nations climate targets. We also believe that hydrogen has a very big potential in energy transition. So thanks to its versatility, hydrogen can be successfully used in transport, industry, storage, and gas networks. And we're mostly interested in green hydrogen since it respects the environment. That is also in line with our long-term strategy.
So what projects do we propose for our new portfolio? Hear more about this from our portfolio and synergy analyst, Elizaveta Yamshikova.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. So as all of you know, we had 17 projects to choose for our new investment strategy. And at first we were trying to find synergies between projects. So we found 2 of them. These are 11 and 12 and 1 and 14 linked together through the gas production and LNG plant or gas power plant. So next, please. And we made a choice towards the projects in Vietnam with the synergy number 11 and 12. You can see it on the map. So this is offshore gas field and gas power plant. And these show our strategy betting on gas. And another strategy direction is renewables implementation. So we have 3 projects about it. The first one is solar power plant in the United Arab Emirates, number 7. Then wind offshore farm in the USA, number 15, and hydrogen project in Belgium, number 10. So next slide, please. So before my start of this part, I wanna just have a question. Why are we doing the risk analysis? In our company opinion, we must do it to implement the mitigation measures. So, and you can see on the plot on the left side, that gas project in blue color, they're more risky. And we want to mitigate the macroeconomic risk in Vietnam by hedging our investments, and also want to decrease the environmental impact by implementing energy efficiency measures and portfolio optimization through renewables projects. In the renewables project with the green and yellow colors, we have only one high risk. So this is technology and infrastructure in hydrogen projects, and we are open to research and development. Before our implementation, we are open to cooperation with companies having the successful hydrogen projects.
Okay, so let's have more idea about these projects that we choose from our project analysis and validation head, Mikhail Lapin.
Project 11 is the power plant and Project 12 is the gas field. The interesting synergy between them is that we can use natural gas from a gas field in order to produce electricity in the power plant. This is very good projects together because this will allow us to reduce supply logistics problems together with any cross-country contract issues. The demand in Vietnam for energy will continue to grow, so we think those two projects have some big potential. Project 11 also uses very efficient technology, CCGT, to produce power, which will allow us to decrease costs and at the same time lower our emissions. Bit 10. Next slide, please. Project 10 has negative NPV, but for us, we consider it as a research and development project. And we also used real option valuation to evaluate it. We hope that at the end of the 2042, when it ended, hydrogen will become a new thing, and this project will allow us to enhance more expertise in hydrogen and give us new opportunities to invest in more lucrative projects. This is the first commercial green hydrogen project powered by renewables surplus, which again, very important if we want to be ready for possible domination of hydrogen on the market in the future. Next slide, please. 15. The project is using innovative radar system, which allow us to stop turbines if we see a large number of birds. We also have an automatic switcher, which allow us to switch off wind turbines if the wind is too strong. The project will help us to commit to our strategy in more renewable energy. Next slide, please. This solar plant is very interesting because it uses very modern solar technologies and because we already agreed with the state for 30 years power purchase agreement. This project will definitely help us to commit to our strategy in more renewable energy. Next slide, please. We conducted a full rebranding of our brand. We changed our mission, vision, value, and strategy to satisfy the new reality when renewable energy becomes the new meta. We changed our logo to reflect this message. We're showing that oil and coal will go away eventually, and we will switch them to renewable energy. We estimate that the most important trends in the energy market, natural gas will continue to grow in any scenario, so this is the most important part of our agenda. We also account for the explosive growth of renewables and hydrogen, but we don't know when, so we're making very cautious moves in this field. We also think that coal and oil will likely stop playing so important role in the energy sector, in the energy share. And we also think that CO2 emission will likely be punished by the government in the nearest future. We have collected a very diversified and profitable portfolio. We also sold one of our worst performing oil production in the USA. In total, we spent $1,217 million. Pascal?
Time is
Thank
over.
you very much, dear directors. This is at the end of our presentation, and we think in this direction we can go with more energy and less carbon. Your questions, please.
Thank you.
Okay, so very good.
Thank you.
Not really on time, you're overrun it a bit. but we're okay with this, Pavel. We're
Yes,
flexible.
but we understand how difficult it is in this digital format. You know, it's difficult for everyone to comprehend and to get this information. So we have some questions already.
Pavel, question is: we're going to continue with this, because we're now so experienced in this way of working. So next year we're going to do it in the same way, yeah?
Yes, for sure. But
For
we
sure.
need to mix it, I would say. You know, we need to mix
So we're
it
going
for
to the
sure.
jury?
Yes, we go into the jury, and please again put the clock on the screen. And we have several questions. We have Leon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I thank you again for this nice presentation. I just had a question. Did you take into account when you calculate, because natural gas is very much in the center of your strategy, if I understand it correctly, but did you take into account the fact that there's also a risk in terms of pricing and over saturation of the market? So there may still be demand, but it could also be that like we see now in COVID-19 times, it can be that the price will be very low for a long time. Did you take that into account in your financial modeling?
Yes, of course, we took that into consideration. Actually, the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic is very important, because it kind of there are two scenarios. It either slows down demand for gas and reduces prices till 2023 or till 2025. So taking that into account, we still believe that gas is going to be gas is the best direction to go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have a question. It's related to this solar plant. And you're suggesting that we as a company should move into a new area and also investing in a solar plant in an area we currently don't have any presence. Have you thought about the process of actually doing that, and have you included that part of the cost to do that in the investment when you made that recommendation?
Excuse me, please, I didn't get your question well. May you please repeat it?
The question is related to the solar plant, which is not in a region that we are currently operating. So what was your consideration rationale for moving in there, and have you considered the cost of doing so into the MPV calculation?
Maybe I can help with this question. Actually, we will rely on the successful experience in the United Arab Emirates for the solar power plants. So they are very good in solar projects. They have a lot of them, and they are very efficient also in reducing the cost for the solar power plant construction, and they have a lot of government subsidies for the implementation. So as a result, our NPV was pretty good for Al-Hafra solar plant because of the two reasons. The first one is government subsidies, and the second one is a cheap LCOE for the region.
We also have plans to send our specialist from Brazil in order to use our knowledge about solar plants which we have there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. More questions? Yeah.
Yes, I have a question. You have selected for your investment portfolio the wind onshore plant, even though in the selection portfolio there were quite a number of interesting renewable wind energy plants offshore as well. How did you make your choice? Of course, onshore plants, wind energy plants, of course, have some societal risks. There's quite some resistance from population. How did you encounter these risks, and why did you select particularly this wind energy plant as compared to the others in the portfolio?
Yeah, actually, we discussed a lot about that, and we saw that given that 17% of the cost of a project is already taken care by government subsidies, it was a good thing. And then the project already has a supply contract for 15 years with STEC, with SCEC. Yeah, and also the technology of this project, the radar technology allows us to mitigate the problems that are usually related to onshore wind farms.
And also we must to say that offshore wind turbines most of the times are more riskier than onshore because it's harder to repair them.
So we're getting to a close, don't we, Pavel, for the Q&A session. So we're pretty much on time again. So thank you, Team Blue, for your presentation and the Q&A. And of course, thank you so much, the jury, for having these questions and your replies to them. We're moving forwards, Pavel. We're going into the yellow team.
Yes, we are going to the yellow team. Yellow team, are you ready?
Yes. Are they ready? Yellow team, please respond.
Yes, we are ready.
Good.
Are you ready?
we are
Very
ready.
good. And I also need to ask the question, and jury, are you ready?
Good. So you need to launch the presentation, as I understand is done already. Cool.
Yep. Yes.
And I appreciate your style. It's very cool. Well done. Okay, you can start.
Thank you. I would like to welcome all of you. We are the team with a code name Yellow. Our members hold different expertise while they have an international profile. We have high diversity in terms of regions as well. The presentation will start now with Irina, the Strategy and Policy VP. Irina, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Let me walk you through our rebranding strategy and introduce some of the key future energy trends which we believe are important for our development strategy. As you all know, we were found like subsoil petroleum in the middle of the 20th century, and 25 years ago, as we were increasingly investing in natural gas, we became Subsoil Energy. New times, new challenges, and as a global company, we now should lead the way in providing sustainable energy. What name would be the best to reflect our identity? We suggest Stead Energy. This word is coming from steady and energy and reflects our mission to provide energy to people and businesses in a sustainable way. Our logo is Sea Campion, northern seaside flower, which symbolizes our origin and at the same time the fragility of nature. And finally, teal color emerges from the mix of blue and green and reflects our commitment to reduce the environmental footprint. Let's now move on and explore some of the energy trends for the next 20 years. We've analyzed the existing projects and came to the conclusion that we should expect the decrease of the share of coal and oil in the primary energy mix and the growth in natural gas and renewables. By 2040, the share of solar and wind will exceed 13%. In electricity generation, their influence, of course, will be even more significant. And if we look at energy carriers on the right-hand side here, we will see that in 20 years, electricity will dominate in the final energy demand. Another important trend is, of course, the climate agenda. Energy-related emissions, namely CO2 and methane, reached 30 gigatons in 2020. The minor drop in the emissions, which you can see in the slide, is the impact of the global pandemic. But to have a stable emissions reduction trend, we should develop renewables, carbon capture technologies, improve energy efficiency, and switch into cleaner energy sources. Overall, on the next slide, you can see that we identified 7 trends: electrification, energy efficiency, decarbonization, the new role of natural gas and the development of hydrogen, carbon capture and storage, and carbon pricing. And I will now give the floor to Oksana, our investment strategy VP, to introduce how these trends will form our investment strategy.
Я пытаюсь...
dear participants and organizers. My name is Oksana, and I'm happy to present you our investment strategy on this position. So I will demonstrate you which strategic decisions we had to make this year, and our optimization model brought us to 2 convincing results. It was developed together with our financial and technical professionals, and thanks to them for that. I must confess, it was not easy at all to choose between these 2 options. And on the chart you see in front of you, there are basically 3 factors we have considered. You might already guess what those are. Of course, NPV level, CO2 emissions, totally, this amount will occur once we implement our new portfolio, and of course, investment. However, you all know that investment is already included in our calculations when calculating net present value, but still, we have to keep in our minds that our final decision cannot go beyond our available funds threshold. You see 2 scenarios, basically. One is green plus gas, logically, and the other one is green plus ECG. Now you might ask, okay, why are you choosing between these 2, right? Just take the highest NPV and be happy with that. But let me promise you, we will convince you later that the best option for us was with lower NPV. So yeah, it's way more complex. Let's have a look at the next slide, and I will show you the interactive map of the whole world. Here you can see depicted all the projects we've chosen, and basically you see part of our strategy already uncovered on this slide. So as already was told before many times, we see future energy perspective on Asian markets. That's why American geographical share is very low in our current portfolio. However, this only one Western project would bring a huge environmental, social, and political profit by a physical reduction of carbon. Yeah, so further on, we move to Europe and take advantage of reliable European and German partners and, of course, transmission system operators, and basically advantage of strong North Sea wind in Belgium. Further, we move. We want to expand on Asian markets. We move to Vietnam with 2 projects. And of course, we strive for sun in United Arab Emirates. Thank you. And colleagues, the floor is yours.
The next slide are about our optimal combination of projects in parallel with our strategy and school of thinking. Based to the words that have already been spoken about our principles and profile, we support sustainable projects. That's why our first investment took place in one of the world's biggest solar plants. In order to keep our business running, though, we had to select carbon-based projects to support our beliefs. However, there are projects which operate with low carbon fuel, the familiar natural gas. Both of these projects have the support of the local government, make them reliable. Moving one step further, we decided to invest to carbon capture CO2 storage for balancing our emissions footprint coming from the natural gas. The technology advances and the rapid pace of the effect of scale of economy could not be calculated through financial indexes. Thus, we made 2 investments for the future in hydrogen projects, neglecting their net present value, since we are convinced that it is not representable. On the contrary, the more the investments on hydrogen are, the less the cost is going to be. We are convinced that we will make profit from this project in terms of know-how in short term and in cash in long term, as we share the belief of hydrogen economy and its synergies. Besides, hydrogen was included on the European directives, proving us right about these 2 European projects. Now I will give the floor to our technology and operational VC.
Thank you, Mainis. Here you can see our project's timeline. But first of all, I'd like to say that in accordance with our company strategy, due to the environmental concerns, we decided to sell one of our oil fields in the United States. If you look at the timeline, you can see that there are 2 really short-term projects. They are hydrogen project in Belgium and gas-to-power plant in Vietnam. And there is also one very long-term project. It is a gas field development in Vietnam. But we expect to get big revenue from the project when it is implemented, and it also enables us to develop a synergy between our 2 projects in Vietnam in the future. So to sum up, Here you can see the main number connected with our company's chosen strategy. And on the right, you can see our company's investment structure. Due to the fact that one of the major energy trends is electrification, we decided to spend 46% of our investments money to produce electricity, both from renewables and gas, but with focus on renewables. And since natural gas by now is the most promising source of energy, we decided to spend 41% of our investments to develop a new gas field in Vietnam. And it is also due to the fact that our company goal is to shift to Asian markets. Also, to contribute to climate change mitigation, we decided to spend 20% of our investments, 12% to carbon capture, and 1% of the investments goes to hydrogen. That is the main information about our company and its strategy, and we would like to thank you for your time and your attention, and we will be glad to answer your questions.
That's really perfect. Well
Very
done.
good, like very
Well
sharp.
done. Yeah.
And
Very
you know,
good on
it's
time.
Rob, I wanted to add that it's always like that. The first team, it's it's difficult to be first, especially in this format. So the further we go, the better it becomes. So thank you very much, guys, for this sharp presentation and being on time, of course. The jury, Margarita.
Yes, I have a question concerning the carbon capture project in the US. We know that there is a very optimistic CapEx planning in our project, and other projects became more expensive. So what was your thoughts about the strategy? What shall we do if the CapEx will be higher than expected?
All right. So in other words, you're saying if we have if we have a high risk of higher capex than the calculated. Is that what you're asking?
Well, basically, I would add to that we, as a company, we are well stabilized, and I think we have quite a nice financial pillow in order to cover economic risks and liquidity risks as well.
And in addition to that, we value, as you saw, more the CO2 carbon emissions, our footprint, than our net present value, since we select from two strong combination of high net present value and a slightly lower. We select the second one, proving that we want to have a less CO2 emission possible. So in either way, we will do the investment.
Yes, Leon?
Yes, a question, yeah. Thank you again for the presentation. I was just wondering briefly why these two projects, the hydrogen project and the gas to power project, are so brief in your timeline. Does that mean you only invest in it once and then you sell it, or why is that so short?
Basically, the entry data was given, so we are forced to follow the commission date and end date as it's given. So it's just transferring of the data.
Okay. Good. I didn't see the data too.
Define the timeline.
I have a question. I noticed that with the current portfolio, your CO emissions is quite lower than the target we were setting by the board. And I guess you can achieve that by a number of ways. And did you consider, and Margarita mentioned high risk related to the CCS project. Did you consider, first of all, please explain why you targeted such a low CO2 emissions, and secondly, did you consider selling off more assets in the US to get the same type of result without investing in this high risk CCS project?
May I add some words to that? Of course, we have considered selling the oil fields, as you've mentioned, in the USA. However, we were giving just one option to sell one of the projects. But I want to emphasize that we know our oil is of a very high quality. It's sweet, it's nice. So we have nice chance to sell our projects, existing oil projects, and finance occurring risks. Yeah, and the second part of the question was regarding CapEx again, right? Did I get you correct?
Yeah, it was more about, you're targeting a quite low CO2 emissions with these investments.
Yeah. Well, it's very simply explained. Basically, for just a -4% of NPV, this is the difference between our two scenarios. We buy a huge amount of CO2 reduction. So I think everything costs its price, and I think we can sacrifice 4% of NPV for like thousands of tons of CO2 emissions. I am sure that my colleagues will agree with me, and our board and our shareholders would estimate it well, and our shares will not go down.
Exactly.
Yes, Jana?
You're on mute.
Jana, you are muted.
Sorry. Did you think about your client? So it will be same client or different client? And client today is ready to understand this green strategy. Did you think about client?
A climate, you mean? No?
You don't have much time, guys.
Very well.
Who will buy your, who will use your product?
30 seconds, guys. Yep.
Yes, but the companies are ready to improve this green strategy. Your client, future client.
Of course. I think since BP has estimated green's transmission, then we can say that in a couple of years we will be really wanted with our green concept.
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Just in addition to that, we might have a very low CO2 emissions, but we invest also to the fossil fuel of the familiar natural gas, and natural gas is a gas with a low carbon, and with combination with capture storage is the reason that the result of CO2 emissions are so low. So it's actually a green scenario indeed, but boosting it by gas and fossil fuel from natural gas. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Rob?
Yes, we need to stop because they were they're very good on time with the presentation, but overrunning in the Q&A. So,
yes.
Okay, the final team, Pavel, the final team is an orange team, and that's the national color of my country. So I'm very curious about their presentation for the final one. Orange team, are you ready?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Good.
Very good. Good to hear. And also the question is, jury, are you ready for the
next
presentation
round
of the
last
orange
round.
team?
Okay.
Okay.
So you
We're
can
going to
put
put
the clock
you on timer. Here we go. Yep. Please go.
Dear members of the board of directors, please let the orange team to submit proposals on the strategic directions of the Subsoil Energy company. 2020 year has been extraordinary turbulent year for all energy markets. COVID-19 sparks a new wave of discussion about the future energy landscape. As a result, we saw new commitments by countries to achieve carbon neutrality and active discussions of the development of the low and zero carbon technologies. At the same time, the climate challenge undoubtedly remains a key driver for challenge in energy sector. Under these conditions, it is important to reevaluate our priorities and business model in order to succeed in the future. During the presentation, our team presents positions on the following questions. First of all, we will show a new marketing campaign which reflects new positioning and philosophy of the company. Secondly, we highlight forward-looking strategic opportunities at energy markets until 2040. Finally, we will present the investment proposals for building a highly profitable portfolio of energy projects, taking the company's commitments to reducing its carbon emissions. Now, let's get down to business.
Thank you, Arseny. Nowadays, we see a rapidly changing energy market and growing requirements to reduce carbon emissions. With this in mind, we propose a rebranding plan for Subsoil Energy. First, we came up with a new name, Enerso, coming from energy and soil. Our new logo is similar to the original one, while colors are based on changing company's portfolio. Gray stands for oil production, blue represents gas, and to reflect our shift towards renewable future, we introduced the color green. We would like to present our rebranding pitch with more explanation as a video, which should be shown to you by Pavel. Before, I can give you a hint that the blue color in our logo actually stands for something more, so please watch it closely to find out what it is. Pavel, could you please play our video?
It's coming. Coming. Still coming.
They will get some more time, Pavel?
Yeah, probably.
You can stop time.
It would be a good option. Can we continue? So a question from the technicians. Can we continue and to show it a little bit later?
Yeah, we can watch it later. We can watch it after the presentation, perhaps ourselves.
So 30 seconds, guys, okay? So you continue, please, and then we'll show it. I'll stop it.
Okay, Dennis, please.
Okay, thank you, Norbertus. Climate policy continues to play a major role in shaping the global energy balance. We can observe increased diversification in the global energy markets. Coal, gas, and oil will remain the main sources of energy consumption in 2040, but international agreements are shifting the global energy markets away from fossil fuels towards renewables, leading to a reduction in global coal consumption. Cost reductions in renewables and advances in digital technologies are opening huge opportunities for energy transitions. At the same time, COVID had the largest impact on the entire economy and stimulated a debate around the future of energy with a focus on renewable energy sources. Given the collapse of prices and falling incomes of global energy players, we see a slowdown in investment activity. We see this as a significant risk of losing investments in energy markets, which will lead to risks of ensuring affordable and renewable supplies. We see strategic opportunities in technologies that provide low and zero emissions. In the power generation sector, renewable energy sources show rapid growth, but natural gas is also a key element in the energy transition. LNG is a key to moderate-based growth in future. In more detail, in developed markets, the growth of renewable energy is evident. It should attract trillions of dollars in investments by 2040. But emerging markets are seeing growth in all other energy sources, especially gas. Many different new technologies need to be implemented in order to achieve emission targets. This includes CCUS technologies, hydrogen, and others. But all these technologies, despite their great prospects, are now at low level of development. Therefore, we have doubts about their profitability. And now we are going to talk about project.
Guys, we can show the video if it's okay for you.
Okay.
Good. Sorry.
Okay.
Launch the video.
Subsoil Energy emerged in the middle of the 20th century, bringing energy and stability to its native region. For many years, our company's focus was refinery and sale of oil, natural gas, and electricity generation. Nowadays, the rising standard of living and growing global population is likely to drive up the energy demand for years to come. In order to tackle climate change, it requires a smooth transition to a low-carbon, diverse, and safe energy system. With this in mind, we propose a new name, Enerso, coming from the combination of energy and soil. As we are slowly emerging from petroleum-based to energy-producing company, we want to honor the land that has provided natural resources and highlight the importance of our environment. The logo is renewed but still close to our origins. The flame symbolizes the energy in the households, and hands holding it provide care and safety. Color gray is our core business of oil, blue symbolizes clean planet, and green is transition to renewable energy. Additionally, Enerso has an ambitious goal of achieving 65% carbon neutrality by the year 2050. This will be achieved by supplying cleaner energy and shifting new investments towards renewable energy resources. We strive to strengthen our position as a diverse and reliable energy provider across the globe in the low-carbon future. Enerso, appreciating the soil beneath us.
Thank you very much for the video. Let's turn to our presentation. Based on conclusions about strategic priorities, we explored 17 projects to form a profitable and low carbon portfolio. After analyzing the carbon footprint and net present value of the projects, we identified 4 groups of them. The first group includes gas and coal-fired power generation projects in Asia and Latin America, which have higher NPV and a higher level of CO2 emissions than other projects. The second group consists of gas fields, LNG and floating LNG projects with lower margins as well as lower carbon footprint than the first group. The third group includes carbon neutral projects such as solar and wind plants with positive net present value. And the last one is formed from green projects with about 0 or negative net present value, including carbon capture usage and storage station, hydrogen projects, and an offshore wind plant. Taking into account the company's CO2 emissions targets not exceeding 900,000 tons of CO2 equivalent for the portfolio of new projects, we can only buy 14 projects out of 17, as well as adding 1 more project number 4 coal power plant, if we can virtually offset its emissions by project number 5, carbon capture usage and storage station. At this slide, you can see our investment proposals for the board of directors. Taking into account our goal and limits, including maximize net present value of the portfolio, take into account our $1.2 billion budget and carbon ceiling that cannot exceed the 900,000 tons of CO2 equivalent. According to our calculations, we would like to get additional financing in amount of $120 million in line with our decisions to sell 1 oil projects in the United States of America, as we see high risks for the US oil market in line with the new Green Deal program and price risk for the oil market as a whole. We range our projects by so-called investment efficiency rate, which allowed us to select the most investment attractive projects. Finally, we build highly profitable portfolio of energy projects taking into account the carbon emissions reduction target. It includes gas power generation plant with high net present value in Vietnam, 3 solar power projects in India, the United Arab Emirates and the United States, and 1 wind park in the United States.
And now let's have a more detailed overview of our projects in terms of risks, opportunities, and ESG factor and synergies with our current business. All of the chosen projects are from the electricity generation sphere, and this meets our strategic development priorities that we proposed earlier. We believe in the growing demand for electricity and clean energy to face environmental challenges of emission reduction. This also meets the modern requirements of society. But the strong point of our portfolio is not only the growing demand, but also financial guarantees for renewables. Proposed projects allocated in EU for subsoil energy geographical markets. However, we believe that our experience as an international power producer will help us to synergize these projects with our existing ones. Implementation of these projects will allow us to take a leading position in the rapidly growing market.
Dear members of the board of directors, we are glad to present the Orange team's results. Please vote for our proposals. We believe that Energy Challenge gives great opportunities for the company to grow and succeed in the future. Thank you very much, your Orange team.
Fantastic, Pavel. Very great presentation.
Thank you, guys.
I
It
love
was
the-
very cool, and sorry for stealing time from you. So you have more time for questions. Yeah, or if you want to add something, you are free to go.
Yep.
Margarita?
So let's go to the jury then.
Yeah.
Jury, I see multiple fingers raising over there.
So Margarita will manage the process then. It's more difficult.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a question?
Margarita?
My question is, you have decided for 2 new countries, Emirates and India. Could you tell something about the risks and how you would like to mitigate them?
Yes, of course. We are going to invest in 2 new markets, but we had experience in power generation sector. We had assets portfolio in thermal and renewables around the world, including renewable energy sources in offshore wind, in solar wind, etc. And this is our strong position and our strength to decide all questions in new markets. Of course, we understand that this is our new opportunities and this is our new challenge, but taking into account our experience in power generation sector around the world, we believe that this is our opportunity to grow and to get new experience. And we have in this step our big synergies with our core business.
And India is not a new market for us, I would like to add.
Yes, in terms of other energy markets, we have different projects around the world, including Asia, including North America, and so on. But if we talk about power generation sector, this is our new maybe projects, and it would be great to take these projects into considerations and to invest, because India is one of the most interesting markets in terms of future energy trends, in terms of future consumption of green energy.
May I add one question about your Vietnam project? So you decided to invest in the power plant only, but not in the production. Do you think about the risk that you are exposed on being squeezed from both sides, meaning gas supply on the one hand and electricity prices on the other? So why have you not chosen the combination with the gas production?
Thank you very much for your interesting question. On the other hand, we have really big competition in between gas suppliers, between LNG producers, and between traditional gas countries, gas export countries, like, for example, Qatar, like Russia, like Norwegia, etc., around the world. But this is good opportunity for power generation, for gas power generation, because on the other hand, we have really low prices, but on the other hand, we have a growing opportunity and growing demand for cleaner and sustainable, reliable energy. This is good option for us to take opportunity in this project and to secure new energy demand in Vietnam according to national plan to develop gas power generation in the country.
Thank you.
I have a question.
We saw other questions from Maxim. Yes?
Yes, I have a question on presentation. Thank you very much. Very interesting, very solid presentation. I recommend to put numbers on the slides because it is difficult to say on what slide it is. It is on a slide 2.2, ground strategic opportunities. It is written that current technology readiness is about 35%. Will you explain what does it mean? Current technology readiness is about 35%.
Okay, I will try to explain this number. We use at the graph 2.2 information from International Energy Agency. And according to this data, we see different opportunities to cut emissions around the world, and different technologies, including hydrogen, green hydrogen, including energy efficiency, including carbon capture, usage, and storage. And International Energy Agency presents its estimates of readiness of each technologies according to its estimates, and we believe this is real well-known source of information. According to the International Energy Agency, current technology readiness is 35%. It means that only 35% is ready to scale up, but other 65% is at stage like prototype, like first projects to test some ideas, etc. This is really, young market, and this market very perspective. But on the other hand, their profitability of such technologies at current moment is under question.
We need to stop the Q&A at this moment. I hope you hear me. Yes, technology is working.
Thank you very much.
Very
Thank
good.
you, Arseny.
Can you hear me, Pavel? Are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Because so Pavel, this is, you know, for the first time we do it in this way, and to be honest, it's very exciting. So therefore, I suggest to do it next year the same. But also I can imagine that we need to ask a couple of questions about the teams, how they actually are feeling this, because, you know, it's exciting to do presentation this way. You cannot see all the screens. I cannot see all the screens. You also can see the delay in voice. So everything is a little bit different. So Pavel, what do you suggest? Shall we ask a couple of questions to the teams?
I suggest the following, actually. So we need, the process will look like that. The jury needs to leave because they will discuss in their room what will happen next and who will win and so on. Then we will be with you, me and Rob, will discuss some stuff. And maybe Margarita, you want to say something before you leave? Several words about your impressions?
Yeah, first impression, Margarita. How was it to do it in this virtual way? Is it more difficult? Is it interesting? Or is it also providing you good insights of the presentation?
Easy peasy.
Yeah, Rob, thank you. So from the one hand side, some challenges indeed, but also some benefits. We can, of course, take a broader help of paper, additional information, all happening at the same time. That's challenging, of course. So you gave us really inspiring and very interesting presentations, and this was a lot of food to think through. We indeed need this time now to consult, and we wish you, meanwhile, a good way and a good talk to relax and calm down. I think it was also quite a nervous thing for you, and we hope to see you soon with our results.
Okay, thank you, Margarita.
Pavel, and how much time do we going to miss the jury?
We'll see the jury in 35-40 minutes. It depends on the process, how it will go. But approximately 35-40 minutes. So we have this time to discuss how it was organized with the teams. So we leave the jury.
I remember last year, Pavel, that they took about an hour to consult themselves.
Yes, but so I mean, it's easier right now.
Yeah, so we go. Are they having a clock in their jury room?
Yeah, I hope so. We are not be able. We won't be able to participate, Rob. It's you know, we will be with the guys. So
we also need a small break in between.
Yeah, but I mean, the jury will be disconnected. So the faster you decide, the more time you have for your break. You know, the same with us.
Yes.
So that's it. So bye. Okay. And they will be disconnected. Yeah, as we understand.
Yep. Bye, jury.
by jury, but they're still here. You know, it's.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
They're
Are we-
coming back.
Oh,
Yeah.
So should we leave?
Yes.
so
No.
we
No. No.
have
No.
a
You stay here.
5-minute break.
You stay here.
Before we start discussing, yeah?
Wait. You stay here, and somebody will
Okay.
help you with all the questions that you have.
We shall now be, oops, we hear.
So they're disconnected, yeah? Good. So Rob,
Disconnect.
I
Still
see
there.
you,
Yeah.
you see me, and we see the guys, as I understand, yeah?
Yeah,
Guys, can you see
I'm
us?
just curious about the teams, how they felt it themselves, you know. So, you know, how was this to do it on a, you know, it's a more challenging way, what Margarita was saying as well. For everybody, it's more challenging, but I'm curious, Bob, for how it was actually felt. Is it strange, or is it still okay? What are you missing? And I'd like to start with the first team and just to ask a question. Andre, you're still there, eh? Andre, first team?
Let's ask the leaders. So the leader of the first team, can you please share your,
that's Andre in the red team.
impressions?
Andre in the red team. Where's Andre in the red team? No, that's another team. I see now another team.
It's not the red one.
That's the green team. That's the. So now I see all the teams passing by. That's good.
Finally.
Yeah. Okay, I now see myself all the time. That's not good. So the red team was the first team.
Red. Первое.
Yeah, red. With Andre. Andre, can you wave? Then they can see where you are. Oh, Andre left his seat, I think. Somebody's talking over there. Is this the red team I see? Yes, good. I cannot hear you. Could you connect to audio?
Yeah. Yep.
Hi, Andre.
Excuse me?
Leader of the
Andre.
red team.
Hi, Rob.
Good.
Can you hear
now
us?
we can we
Yes.
can hear you, and you can hear
Yes, I
us, as
can.
I understand. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes,
Andre,
yes.
we had a question about how did you felt it to do the presentation this way with the team, and how was your collaboration? How was it? Because it's challenging, it's totally new. How did it felt?
Yeah, we had the challenges because we've been working across different time zones, and we had several team members from Vladikavkaz and some from Europe, and I think we had the natural challenge of the time zones, and sometimes it was difficult. But we were sharing the information, and we're trying to bring everyone to the same goal and synchronize our efforts. But as you said, the working in the virtual environment is very different.
Yeah, it is totally true. And when I was in my previous job as a global manager, I had to deal with virtual teams across the world. And it is not easy, but there is also an enormous benefit because you actually can work with the different insights from the different cultures and different background of people. But it is a challenge. I totally agree. And the time zones difference is enormous. So the question to you, Andre, is what is the slot on a day when you want to have a team present from Europe, United States, and Asia? Is there a slot? Can you calculate it quickly? What's the slot?
I think it's sometime in the morning around 8 a.m. Moscow time, because I actually work with guys from Brazil and some company in Australia. And for Brazil, it will be very late. For us, it will be morning, beginning of the day.
Yeah.
And for
Well,
Australian colleagues, it will be.
To find out what time zone you need to take. So when somebody's in Kuala Lumpur, one is in Houston and one is in Amsterdam, then the slot is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You only have 1 hour. because then it's 9 o'clock in the evening in Kuala Lumpur, 8 o'clock in the morning in Houston, and then it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Amsterdam. So that's a challenge indeed. And when you are in light-saving mode, then it's even becoming more challenging. Yeah, but thank you, Andre, for this insight.
I want to add a question, Rob. So I need
Yes, go ahead.
I need time
Team,
for myself. So Andre, how was it actually with Bert? So you had an expert from Gazuni, and we know him well. He's a great professional. I'm interested how the consultations went.
I think he helped us a lot with shaping the overall presentation because we started with NPV analysis as a main criteria. After first presentation, after first session, he advised us to look for other options. And after second consultation, he mentioned that developing a brand is also an important aspect. So I think it pretty much helped us to shape up all the three parts of the presentation.
Good. Okay. Thank you very much, Andre, for sharing the views and sharing your thoughts about how it's, sharing your experience, how it was organized, how the process went, and so on. So let's hear now the teams then. You know.
Yeah, the second one was the green team.
Yes, the green team. So our technical support, can you bring green team to...
Green?
Yes, green. To live? Good. So the leader of the green team, what can you say about the process? How was it for you? This digital world, was it difficult? Was it easier?
Hi, Pavel. How are you, Rob? I think that it is different. It is different. Struggled in 2018, and all the preparation was, I think, we could have more experiences there. And well, virtual world, you cannot interact a lot as before. But I think that we can achieve a really good result as a team, in a virtual team, and I think that we did it super good.
Okay.
And Michaela, what is the time over there now in Bolivia?
8 p.m. 8 a.m.
You look very fresh and very awakened. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I hope you can see me super awake.
You look good. So you had already got a lot of coffee in the morning.
I would say you are more awake than Rob. You know, you look good.
Thank you so much, Pavel. You know, he's my friend.
Yes, the best one actually. I can afford it. You know, it's.
Just joking, but so you felt it was a challenge, but do you also see the benefits of working in a virtual way this way by making use of all the different, backgrounds of your teammates?
Yeah, of course. We are in different parts. Russia is 7 hours ahead of me, so we could manage the time, and I think that it is easier for us because we can connect whenever we are, so we can save our time.
Good. So I have the same question for you about experts then. Sorry, Rob, for interrupting.
Yeah, that's a good one.
How it went, because you had two experts actually, Konstantin and Irina. They work together, they know each other well, but share your experience, how it went. How was it for you?
When we they put it in copy to the others, so everybody could be in track. And well, our first meeting with Irina, she helped us a lot with the organization of our presentation and some feedback about what we had until that day. Then with the other representative, we had a chance to look for some details in the presentation, some more information, what we could add what they would like to see in the presentation. So we focused on that. And they were very, very helpful with how our presentation was going to be structured.
Okay. Thank you very much. Rob, do you have more questions, or should we move to the next one?
I think we can move to the next one. I'm curious about the other teams as well, because they are online. So let's move into to the
blue.
So that was the green. We have now the
blue one.
Yay. I think the blue team, huh?
Yes, the blue one, and the team will be live in several seconds. Good.
Yep. Proceed.
Yeah, we are here. The blue ones are here.
Yeah,
So,
good to see you again, by the way.
Yeah.
Share your
I didn't get your question.
Your background, is that in your room?
Yeah, I'm in my room. Yeah, but everything is quite good in my room. The lighting is good. I'm working on some YouTube projects, so I have more or less better lighting than others.
But is it a softbox behind you?
Yeah, it's a self-made softbox.
Okay, understood. Cool.
Very
so,
good. And your collaboration in the team. How was your collaboration in the team? Did you make use of the team roles we discussed last week?
Yes, exactly. That was the initial place where we started, like dividing the roles, finding out who's the leader and the co-leader. And we actually formed a very dynamic group, because I, as a leader, I'm more of a general knowledge guy, a technical person. And then we had Michael Lapin, who is very good with numbers, very, very good with numbers. So each time we had an idea, he would go and say, no, it doesn't work with the numbers. And yeah, it was very good. The dynamics was very interesting. It was challenging, working online, but we found interesting tools like Doodles and straw poll to work more easily. But it was at the end, it was very interesting and a nice experience.
That's good. It's good to hear, by the way, and that everything works fine. And also good to hear that you made use of the team roles, and that is actually describing the dynamics. And what you just were saying, that somebody was saying kind of a warner in the team, saying, well, we need to see it from a different angle or not. It's so vital that you're not going to be blinded by running in one direction, but there is one person is saying, ho, stop a minute, let's review it again. That's good. It's very good. You described it very good. Yeah. Pavel, do you want to ask the same question again about the...
Yes, of course, because I'm also, you know, why I'm asking about experts, because we communicate with them on a daily basis. So we meet with them, we work on different projects. So these guys are from our circle of friends, of our colleagues. And you worked with Grigory Shevchenko. This is like a bright guy working in trading. He's so active, always very active. So how was the communication with them? With him?
The communication with our expert was very, very insightful, I would say. Our first meeting was kind of mind-blowing. It was like a bomb in my head, exploding all the ideas that I had, and a kind of, okay, guys, go back in line, because we were saying one thing and trying to apply the other, and Gregory kind of helped us reorganize our work better and focus on the most important things during the project. Yeah, that was the first meeting. And then the second meeting, we discussed a lot about the projects that we were interested in following, and Gregory gave us very useful insights on how to choose portfolios and how to manage synergies. Yeah, so it was very, very, very good with Gregory.
Okay, but how much time did you spend with him? Is it 2 hours or was it more?
It was more, a lot more. I think the first day we spent 1 hour 30 minutes on our meeting, and the second day the same thing, 1 hour 30 minutes. So we actually did 3 hours.
Okay, good. Thank you, Pascal. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Pascal, for your time. Then we go, Pavel, to the next team, which is yellow team. Let's ask the yellow team.
Yellow.
The chairperson of the yellow team. Where's the chairperson of yellow?
Good.
Ah,
Emmanuel, hi again.
How are you?
Very good. It's very
You can
challenging
call
for
me-
us as well. You know,
You can call me Manos as well. It's my
Manos?
short version of my name.
Okay.
Manos. Okay.
It's good to know actually, because we always make this mistake.
Yeah, but
that's what I said.
So, how was your team working? Was it fine? Was the team challenging? Was your life as a leader in the team miserable, or was it very good? Were they supportive to you?
To be honest, we had really fun during this project. We work in bottom-up and top-down approach. So the organization of the task were coming in top-down, and all the ideas and creativity was in bottom-up. That's why I think everyone was very eager to work and to contribute.
So it was not so tough as a leader. So your role was you were a participating leader.
I wanted to feel like this, so I only interrupt in the dynamics when I feel it necessary, which was a few times, not a few times.
Okay,
Things come
okay,
natural
okay.
as a team, and the cooperation was excellent.
Okay.
Also, to add, I had two very good co-leaders who help a lot to strengthen the links among the team members, Oksana and Irina. So also added value to the leading.
To the team, man. Yeah, to the team. So just a question on the results. Are you happy with the results in your presentation?
Totally. We presented what we had in mind. We're discussing a lot about our final solution. We came up, as you saw in the presentation, in two strong cases. I thought, to be honest, at the beginning, I thought it was more like an exercise to find projects which maximize the net present value and give us a limit on the CO2 emissions. So we prepare a model based on that. But after discussions with the team, we came up that would be more than that, and that's why we built another strategy and choosing a green deal.
Very good, very good. Pavel, you want to have your one question again about your experts?
Of course. You worked with Jan Paul from OMV. We actually asked him a lot of questions. I don't know how he survived with us, you know, because we use him for every project that we have, and he doesn't refuse. So he was very happy to join the team and to consult you. So how was it? I remember that it was early in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. That makes things even funnier because we weren't so serious when you wake up early in the morning. And Jan was excellent with his consultancy. He gave us space and guidelines as well. So we didn't consume, we actually consume our creativity based on his guidelines, and we had very interesting discussions.
Good to know. Good to know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your comments on the team effort. Final, Pavel, we're going to the orange team just to ask them.
Yes.
The orange team had a very creative way to present themselves with a very, very interesting video. By the way, we can hire them for our next video as well, I presume. So, orange team, can somebody from the orange team, the leader of the orange team, here you are. Can you tell us a little bit more about how was the process in your team? How was it dynamic? Was it dull? Was it fun? What was it? Boring, maybe?
No. It was absolutely interesting and positive, in the positive mood, with creative ideas, with different approaches in the team. we use brainstorming, we divide it by mini groups, we make some block of tasks individually, we communicate each other 20 hours per day. We have no problem with different time zones because we made our presentation and our calculations during the whole day, and maybe the main activities of our solutions will be at about 7 or 6 a.m. It was really nice because it was really good experience to work with different teammates around the world, from France, from Netherlands, from Nigeria. This is great option to have such experience and to communicate, to cooperate, to have such great and hard work.
I noticed, by the way, that you know, in the chat box, everybody was asking about, is it snowing at your place? Is it snowing at your place? Everybody was asking about the snow suddenly. So what is your background? Is it snowing over there or not?
We had no such questions. We have questions about our presentations, and we have
about, you know, the
a little
current
bit.
climate.
Yes. In the beginning, we have some information from each other, and one teammate demonstrate its laboratory. It was really interesting and wonderful to see a real laboratory and real some chemistry in the oils. This is really interesting.
So what you actually did was more than just working on the assignment. You were actually helping each other, giving more insights. So actually you learned more during this collaboration than maybe originally intended.
Yes, of course. I try to collaborate with each other to make to take into account each ideas, to make creative results, and to save positive and positive mood in the team. It was really important for me. Do not demonstrate that this is hard work, but I missed several workouts. I have bad sleep and so on, but it was really crazy days with the team.
Thank you so much. Let's go to the guy who actually missed most of his sleep over the last week. You can see it there. Yes. So he's almost bald. He's got his beard. Powerful. Can you ask a question?
Yeah.
He missed
yeah.
nights. He missed his nights.
So yeah, I also had some sleepless nights, as you imagine, but I think you have the same. It's a crazy run for everyone, and I think it's a good experience, you know, because it's mixed with digital world, and it's really interesting for me. It's a new experience, really, and it sounds easier than it's in real life, for sure. Yeah. So you had your consultations
One more question, but that's actually over all the team members, you know. So what I saw that I recognized some faces from last year. Is that correct?
What?
I recognize some faces from last year. Is that correct?
Yes, you are correct.
So how many people were actually in the game last year as well, from all the participants?
I think about 3 to 5 members that participated already. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's good to know, you know, so people are returning as well.
Of course.
It's a good, very good game, eh?
Some people will know, you know, we will gather these success stories as well, because we know a lot of people already working in the companies, and some people work on their startups and so on. And we really need to collect this information and to share this information, and maybe to connect these people with the next generation, so they will be able to, you know, to form the community. That's our next goal actually for the next year, because we have more than, I don't know, 1,000 alumni already. So it's quite, it's something. So we need to build this community and to give the opportunity to communicate with each other. That's because
Well,
this community
that's
is
a good
very
message,
international.
by the way, Pavel. Very good message, because specifically now when all the teams actually reported out about how difficult it is to work over the time zones in different cultures and backgrounds. But you're talking about a higher goal of this event as well, which is actually demonstrating how we can be connected around the world as a community, as alumni in this contest, and actually creating maybe a better world.
Yeah, for sure. We always have. I won't say that Corona helped us. It's a disaster that happened actually, but for some, I would say, for some people, for some companies, it's a good motivation right now, to become efficient and to have, to look clearly on your strategy. Why are you working? Why are you doing that? It's actually true. We spoke about that yesterday, about the incentive that is behind you, if you remember our night conversation. It's like, what drives you? Money, power, or something else? Maybe you want to do something in this life, and maybe you want to change it. Change the situation, make the lives of people better, and so on. It's a choice of everyone. But I want to go back, because we didn't ask a question about Julia Bormann, Team Orange. Yeah. Yes, Team Orange. Sorry for that. Can we go back to Team Orange, because we missed it? Can you say several words about that? How was it with Julia? Team Orange?
It was. We had really interesting 2 meetings with Julia. She was really helpful for us. We got several documents, and I'm not sure that each guys had opportunity to read them during our presentation and during our calculations. It was really hard to read it all information, and it was really nice to communicate with Julia.
Okay.
She's really friendly, very friendly.
Yeah, she's really friendly. So thank you for sharing your thoughts and your experience. It's actually, we decided that each expert will be assigned to only one team. Maybe next years we'll do it differently when we mix the experts, but this system seemed very difficult for us in the beginning. So we decided to leave it as it is, and we linked one expert to one team. Rob, you were saying about these higher goals, so let's continue this conversation, and sorry for interrupting.
The question, by the way, Pavel, are we going to see the experts as well in this session today or tomorrow?
Not today, unfortunately, because yeah. But some experts.
So about the higher goal, let's go back to the higher goal.
But sorry, Rob.
Yeah.
Some experts are watching us right now. I know, because they wrote me. Yeah, so they are watching the stream.
Okay. Sometimes it's confusing, even as a moderator, about what is happening. You need to understand. Pavel is sitting in St. Pete. I'm sitting in Amsterdam,
Quite confusing.
and I can see my gesture is moving very strange at the moment.
I don't know.
No, it doesn't fit.
Yes,
What's
that's
direction?
It. No,
the other way.
Okay, maybe we have a different
one.
picture. Okay.
Here Taka.
Yes.
So that's the higher goal, to stay connected there, Pavel. Pavel, time-wise, I noticed that we almost, 40 minutes ahead for the jury discussion. I think that everybody needs to take a break at least for 5 minutes to grab a coffee and a sandwich. I'm hungry as well. So get a sandwich, get a coffee, and be back in 5 minutes.
Only 5 minutes, guys, because in 7 or 8 minutes we'll have the jury back, so you don't want to miss it. So 5 minutes, a short break, okay, everyone?
Short, okay.
Good. Rob? Rob, I miss you. Unmute yourself.
I'm here.
Good, because I lost
So
you.
yeah, it's always good to hear, Pavel, what you're saying to me. Rob, I miss you.
Yeah,
Rob.
you know that we work in parallel, that's why I'm asking. So the process is the
question,
yeah.
Question, what is the most used word in this COVID 2020 year? What's the most used word around the world?
Lockdown?
Unmute yourself.
I am unmuted actually. Lockdown?
No, that's the most used words.
Unmute yourself. Okay, understood. Cool joke.
Or we'll say mute yourself.
I
No,
bought it.
unmute yourself.
Yeah.
So that's a new word in our dictionaries.
Good joke.
Good joke.
So,
Okay. Pavel, it took a long time.
Yes, it took the jury.
Again had some difficulties.
25 minutes more than we planned actually. So that's it was a tough discussion as I understand.
Yeah,
and but we have results. So I will explain
they're improving.
Yeah, I will explain how we will proceed. Right now, it's actually a very short explanation. Margarita, can I introduce your role? So the floor is yours, and you are managing the feedback from the jury to the teams. So the floor is yours. It's your job now. You unmuted?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So before we come to a short debrief and feedback to the teams individually, I wanted to share some thoughts we had to all the teams. So generally, really a great job within a short time, done with an impressive amount of analysis, a high level of detail, and we know how diverse you are in the teams, and that was really an impressive result you have delivered. Very logic proposals, a very even performance, you will see it in a minute, especially even were the descriptions of the trends, and here I start to come to the small buts. We as a board, of course, have also a critical eye on some things, and we would like to share that for the future considerations. So one thing was the trends you have described was mainly public for all, but less for our company. A second thing we have envisaged more or less with all of you, you have taken quite a broad portfolio, and we would like to suggest you also to think about the value of focusing, of maybe not taking all the money you have, but phasing it somehow. And what we also missed a little bit, at least you couldn't show it in the short time to us, were the considerations and the results of your risk analyses and of the mitigation measures you have thought through. You have spent all money you could, and there was no obligation to do so. So again, focusing, phasing, mitigating, those are all things you should better consider for such portfolio decisions. And last but not least, we had some projects there with hard stakeholder issues involved, and we have not really heard a lot about stakeholder analysis, stakeholder management. So that's the general consideration. Very high scores you will see with all of you, but we also would like to give a short feedback to each of your teams, and we'll do it in the range of the presentation. So we start with Team Red. Ekaterina, your floor.
Yes. Thank you, Margarita, and dear students. Indeed, great presentations and a lot of work you have put into this case. We can definitely see that in a short time frame which you had, in 1 week, you really did a deep analysis. Yeah, a lot of work. So we really appreciate all the input your contributions into this presentation. It was not an easy task with a lot of data, so really, yeah, Good job. On the first team, Team Red, you had a very nice brand explanation that was very clear from your logic about the choice of name, where it came from, and what's the vision for the future. So that was a good part of the presentation. We found that it was a bit unfortunate only one person was presenting for the entire team. So we wished we could see the faces of also the rest of the team a little bit more. Also during discussion of the jury, it was discussed that your trends explanation was a bit detached from the strategy that you strategic choices that you made for the portfolio. So we didn't see strongly a logic between the two. The analysis for the selection criteria seemed to be very thorough. So you really developed an optimization model. Apparently, you developed 12 scenarios with a lot of data processed. But however, on the presentations on the slides, it was not very well visible and very easy to grasp this information from your slides, unfortunately, even though you did explain it during your presentation, but it was quite difficult to understand from the slides your choices. And you were also one of the only companies, one of the only teams who selected this US solar project, which really faced a lot of resistance from both political resistance, but also from the ecologists. We found that it was not a very easy choice that you made, maybe not a very strong one as well, but that was one of the things that we also pointed. But overall, good job, very interesting choices and nice presentation. Thank you.
So shall I then start from the green team? Thank you very much. It was a great presentation. As a board member, I would say that it was the most board-like presentation. Not too many figures, but clear pictures, clear directions. That was quite good. But let's talk about content, but really not joke aside that the presentation and the slideshow was very, very, very good. What we really liked was the strategic approach and the explanation of the strategy based on clusters, and a clear story behind it and a clear logic behind it. That you gave an analysis on a high level, which really follows the story you started with the strategy and the clustering, and everything was fitting. It was quite a good story. Also, what for me personally is important is then the decisions you made. And these decisions are clear. They were logic. I found it very good that you said that the project in Vietnam would not work without production. Very interesting your approach and your explanation about why you would also invest in that element one project, even does it not earn money. You clearly said that is a game changer for the future. We want to be involved in that. That was very, very good. In general, good answers, immediate answer, clear and strict answer. So if we have a question, answer was fitting. Very good result. I was impressed.
Lars, you are muted.
Now I hope I'm not muted, the most known word in 2020. So I have the honor of presenting the feedback to the blue team, but general feedback by Margarita. I think we were all impressed by all the presentations, so we try to distinguish a little bit. So, but on the blue team, you made a very good presentation on the logo. I liked also the way you had your mission and vision statements, also with some other factual things, how you saw your company. You know, it's a board meeting and it was a lot of information about the trends, and I know that was part of your task. And it's a lot of information to digest for the board members at the same time. And although it's useful and very good, I think one thing I would see is maybe missing is that you should also try to link it to the company strategy. Where do we want to be? Do we want to follow the general trend, or does our company wants to go in a specific trend? And then on the selection, portfolio selection, I thought that was very good, the way you presented it. You had a very simple slides with a good rationale for why you selected certain projects. You focus on synergies, which I think you were maybe one of the few team that actually presented that. And you also focus on the mitigation, where you saw the high risks were in your portfolio. So overall, you did very well, very good presentation, and we liked it a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Lars. I'll continue on the yellow team. So also very good storyline. What we also liked, like the most other teams, that you have shared your presentation among your team members. That was a very good move. So we could see that really the team was working and not single persons. You were the only team where we have seen a clear timeline. Thank you for that. That is very important. So we would suggest always to start or to implement a clear timeline in whatever you propose. However, you have chosen a broad portfolio, a very broad portfolio, and there were some risks involved, especially capex, so cash risks. And we a little bit disliked the answer to our question. We had hoped for more risk analysis, mitigation analysis, instead of the answer that there is a financial pillow available for such kind of projects. So here a clear advice, think in a different way about how to handle such situations. However, the focus on the future and the wish to cope with the future challenges was very good, shown to us. Congratulations. Some things we did miss, so we did not completely understood the methodology for the selection of the projects. So that didn't come from the presentation and not from the explanations, but maybe this is a communication thing, and 10 minutes is not much time. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Let me continue with the orange team, which is of course the Dutch team giving the color. So it's only fitting that the Dutch guy is giving you the feedback. I think it was a great team effort. I really like the movie. So you guys were able to make it a very nice movie in such a short time. From the perspective of content, I think you had a good trend analysis, and then you also sort of acted on those trends. So you made sure that you saw, for example, renewables coming up. So the project you selected were also that in that ballpark. The logo in that sense was a little bit less strong, because in your talks you really focused on the future, which was great. But then the logo part was still a little bit more like, yeah, it's a personal thing, of course, for also the jury, but we feel it could have been a little bit better. There was too much information on the presentation slides as well. So you gave a lot of information, which was good. But if you only have 10 minutes and a limited amount of time, then these slides were very full. So it's hard for us to reread all that information. But later on, when you read through it, I could see what you guys meant. Another minus also from my side was that you had the gas plant in the gas power plant in Vietnam, but not the field. So that's a risk. And there was another risk that is also there that has to do with the public acceptance of, for example, one of these wind parks or solar parks. I don't remember what it was. But you have to see, yeah, it was good to also take that into account, although I realized that perhaps it was, yeah, also the boundaries of your model and the boundaries of whatever you were given to work with. But overall, a very good presentation.
So thank you. That was the feedback from our jury. And now we want to ask Margarita to conclude the business game. So with that, with the speech of Margarita, we'll close the event, the business game event, I mean. So Margarita, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Pavel. I'm very glad and honored to announce how the ranking finally came out. And on the 5th place, we have identified the team Red, the first presentation, with 7.01 scores in total. On the 4th place, we have team Yellow with 7.53 points. On the 3rd place, there is team Green with 7.81 points. Second came team Orange with 8.04 points. And the first one, congratulations, is Team Blue with 8.61 points.
Ooh.
Congratulations to all. Thank you very much for that impressive performance. And as you have seen, it's 7.8 points. So you came very, very narrow, and it's a pity, but we have to do that distinction. And finally, that's the outcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now we want to ask the leader of the winning team to give a short speech for 1 or 2 minutes, maybe to say thank you or to share your experience. Only 2 minutes.
Yep.
Pascal?
Pascal.
Microphone. 2 minutes. Guys, great job. Thank you very much, Michael, Christophe, Juan, Olga, Elisaveta, Victor, Dimitri, Ksenia. Thank you very much for your amazing job. I told you at the beginning that we would end first, and this is happening. So thank you very much. To the organizers, I want to say thank you very much for your support. We actually disturbed you a lot at night, but at the end, we are very happy. And from here, we want to extend our thanks also to our expert, Grigory Shevchenko, because he helped us a lot in this work. So thank you very much. A very, very, very positive note on that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Pascal. And Gregory, I hope you can hear that, because I hope he can see the presentation and the stream and hear the words that you are saying. I also wanted to add, that thank you to the winning team. It was a wonderful presentation, and actually all you guys made a great job. And the difference is negligible. And I wanted to add about the process that we had, that we created. This business game is only a part of the project, a small part actually. You worked very hard during the project. You passed the entry test, the qualification test. So, and you had the rating for that. You had your marks. Then you worked very hard during the virtual academy. You passed. You visited 18 webinars, and you passed 2 challenges. And then you prepared your individual research project. So that was a quite impressive work, and everything built your individual rating. Then we had business game. It's fun for everyone, but you saw that the difference in rating is negligible. The difference in marks is negligible, and we add up this rating, these marks, to your individual rating for everyone. So this yes, Rob? Yeah.
So just to underline this and underpin this, is that everybody was saying, Margarita already said it, everybody ended in a very close range. So I would say bravo to all the teams. and that all the teams did a great job. We heard about your challenges. The jury might have missed this during the break when we had interviews to the teams, and they were mentioning their challenges in the time zones, in the cultural differences, but also with the assignments and etc. So I want to say something powerful to maybe for the jury. Is a big applause first for the jury, and maybe we can have a group picture of the jury.
Yeah, it's a good idea actually.
Yeah, let's have a group picture of the jury. So can we have a group picture of the jury? And jury members, you need to smile, of course. Eh?
So it's actually a surprise for our technicians, and you know that they do not like surprises. It's actually they work great.
They're perfect.
So
they're perfect.
Smile, please smile. It's a group picture.
Group picture.
Yeah, good.
Fantastic.
So we managed to do that even in digital format. Good.
Yeah. I always like these pictures, Pavel, from the other years. They're popping around. You know, the one of you and me, that's always the most fantastic ones.
Now
the one I'm pointing in one direction, you're looking the other way.
We will send everyone the pictures.
Pavel, another group picture. Of all the teams, can we have all the teams as a group picture?
Teams? Technicians, please do your job. They're not smiling actually, you know, it's a good surprise, but no picture for Europe.
Okay, then the blue team, at least the blue team.
After that, we'll do it after that.
Okay.
Rob, it's not that flexible as you think.
Okay.
Okay, so
hey, you did a great job as well, by the way.
Of course. We always do a great job, you know, but again, maybe not as good as we thought we would do, but it's okay. I would say it's okay. So
there's applause to you and the team and all the technicians over there. You know, don't underestimate the effort you took to create this. And I think the jury, the organizers, and all the related companies who actually you can see in the top of here as organizers, they supported you and the team. And people should know that this is not an easy task what you did today, and therefore a big applause to all the technicians over there.
Yeah, guys, we will show them after the event. Actually, thank you for these words, Rob. It's good to mention that it's a teamwork, and you know, and we have a lot of stakeholders in this project. So all these companies that helped us with this. We annoyed them so much with these mails, with these telephone calls, you know, it's, please help us with that, please give us experts, you should go to the jury, please invite your CEO, and you know, this project won't be possible without the help of these partner companies. And I also wanted to mention about the guys, the participants. We have 50 best students here. And I hope you will continue to cooperate with each other. You will continue to, you know, to build this community, to help each other, and we will try to provide everything for that in the next year. So our next goal is to build this community and to give you the possibility to exchange your experience, exchange your ideas with each other. Because we have a lot of alumni, as I already mentioned, we have then more than 1,000 alumni already. So again, about the individual rating, we came up with, we change the award every year, and this year it's in a new format, was proposed by the members of the jury. So the first part of the award will be the individual recommendations signed by the jury. So we will choose 5 best students, and we will provide individual recommendations for them with all these achievements that they made during the virtual academy and the project. The second part is an educational trip to Barcelona, organized by EDI and supported by our partner companies, by International Business Congress, by Gazprom, by Wintershall and by Uniper. So here I wanted to maybe give a word to Margarita.
I'm very honored, and it's a pleasure for me to announce those 5 names of the winners of the Youth Day in general. And I also, to keep the intrigue, start with number 5. Congratulations, Елизавета Ямщикова. Number 4, also congratulations, Kirill Butov. Number 3, Andrei Berezin. Congratulations. Number 2, Emmanuel
Wait.
Kamilakis. Sorry, did I hear something?
Yeah, not that fast, Margarita. We need to show the guys.
Ah, okay. I'll stop before number
Yeah, Emmanuel,
1.
we can see Emmanuel. Good. And the first one?
Norbertis Kairis. Congratulations to all,
Sir,
but also
thank you.
congratulations to all those who actively participated. Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure to see how you work, to see the results. Thank you.
Thank you, Margarita. Thank you for the speech. And we also want to give 2 minutes to our the main organizer of the educational program that will be supported by the companies that support the project. Leon Stille, you know him already. He will explain how it will be organized. The second part of the award. Leon, are you here?
Yeah, the second part of it, indeed. Thank you very much.
Wait.
Yes,
We will bring you live. Yes, good. We'll see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have indeed a nice prize for the 5 students. They can join our hydrogen summer school that we are building at the moment, so free of charge, indeed sponsored by all the people you just mentioned, Pavel. And so that's very nice, and they can soak up some knowledge about hydrogen in the sun, and be hopefully educated and ready for the future as a first small step towards the hydrogen economy. So that's the second part of the prize, guys.
Good. Thank you very much, Leon. Thank you. And Rob, do you want to add something?
No more things to add, Pavel. I think everything is fine.
I need to do something. I want to actually give a word for several minutes to the best student. It was tricky because you were always changing in the top. So Norbertas made this move today and got this final top place. And as we said already, it's earned with hard work, but a little bit of luck also, I think, present here. So Norbertas, can you share your experience for several minutes, please? Wait, our technicians are not happy again.
This picture, by the way, this is a good picture.
It's unexpected, but it's good for the team.
Yes, good. So we need to capture that one.
Yes,
so,
but
Norbertas,
where are you? We need to give Norbertas a word. Yes. So they found him. You're going live.
Yes. Hi. Nice to see everybody. Yes, thank you again for this honor. It was very pleasing throughout this process of the Virtual Academy. It was a very interesting experience. It was very different from what I expected initially when enrolled to this one. I wished I would be in St. Petersburg by this time, but we have it as we have, and it's still an exciting opportunity. So the first part was very interesting, I would say, and really enjoyed all the webinars by the experts. And the second part was a bit more challenging, I would say, because we had to work well with the bigger team, and I think we still succeeded pretty well. Of course, our expectations were also high. So in general, I'm really pleased with the result, of course. And it's interesting that you mentioned that it took over in the last part, because I think the first part was the stronger one. But nevertheless, I'm really happy with the result. And yeah, hopefully to see you in the future. And if anybody have any job offers, please let me know. And yeah, guys, thanks again. Thanks for the team as well, again, for everybody who contributed to this second part. So yeah, cheers, guys.
Okay, thank you Norbertas. Now we need to make this group photo as Rob wanted to do. So please bring everyone to the main screen.
Yeah.
Good.
Perfect. Perfect. That's including the jury and the teams. So we have 5 teams and a jury and ourselves.
And the
correct?
photograph is, yeah, it's making the photos. Good. So smile and wave, please. Guys, it was wonderful today. And one thing I need to do, start the video.
Video?
Yes.
Are you going to tell something about tomorrow, Pavel?
Yes. Tomorrow we have a very difficult event. It will be a high-level event where we need to be very time cautious, respect the timing, and be very polite, I would say, in this sense. We will send you the links today in the evening to the WhatsApp group, and we will send you the questions so you can look at them. And I would say we continue the communication in the WhatsApp group. Please look at the group, and yeah, we need to be prepared for tomorrow. Okay?
Yep.
I wanted to. Can you bring me to yeah? Good. One last thing. I wanted to show you how it was done. You know, all those people who made this event. So we will go to the technicians because these people made it for you. You know, look. As I already said, it's difficult to do. So thank you guys for bringing us live, and sorry for all the surprises that Rob made. Rob, wave. Okay, so thank you everyone for this. Okay, I'm there. I need to.
Yeah, you're back again. You're back on scene.
I'm back again.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I am unmuted.
But it's good to surprise you all the time, Pavel.
Yeah.
You know, people who survive, you know, they are adaptable, and I think you're very adaptive, and the technicians are.
I would say we made a great job. Thank you,
No,
everyone.
you did a great job, and the jury,
I am
and all the
applauding to you.
participants.
Thank you, jury. Thank you, teams. And I hope I will see you tomorrow with this high-level event. And it will be interesting to do that. It will be interesting to see how these guys on this level do it, actually. You know, because this is a high-level shots. We had testing. We had a lot of testing with them, and they're quite motivated also to do it in digital format, and they want to see each other, of course. They want to appear in a good way, I would say, and it's interesting. So let's see how it will go tomorrow. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.
See you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.